Yo, what's going on, Donnies and Donettes, and welcome to another episode of the Mobile DJ Mastery Podcast. Yes. Ladies and gents, I have on a guest this week, which is a little bit different to what we normally do, but I like to change it up every now and then, keep things fresh and funky. Now, today we are going to be talking to someone that was able to get over 150 inquiries from one television appearance, man. 150 guys booked out for 5 years for ending up on TV for a very, very short period of time. Now, one of the big take homes from this thing is going to be opportunities. If you get an opportunity in life, if something lands on your door, if someone says something to you and you're thinking, I don't know if I should really do that. Should I? Am I really? Does that? I always say when some things come, certain opportunities, take them, especially if they make you feel a little bit nervous or I don't know how this is going to turn out. What have you got to lose? Most of the time, you've got nothing to lose. And a lot of the time, you've got a lot to gain. But you'll never know what happens unless you take those opportunities. So today, we're going to be speaking to a Will Smith lookalike. And when he comes onto the channel, you're going to be like, oh my days, is that Will Smith? Well, he looks just like him. So let's get into this story because this one is a fantastic episode. So hold into your seats, guys. Let's roll that banging intro and let's get into this one. Yo, man, Shad, what you saying, my bro? Thank you so much for joining me on today's pod, man. How you been? How you been doing?
Nah, I'm good, man. It's a pleasure. A pleasure to be involved, man. Trust me, pleasure to be involved.
Nah, that's fantastic, man. Before we actually get into anything, I want to let the people know why it is that I've brought you on today's pod. So, guys, like I was scrolling through my TikTok as I do, and then all of a sudden I just see Shad's pop up on my page, and he's had this story about Don't Tell the Bride. Now, if you remember Don't Tell the Bride, it was an amazing show, and they used to give the whole budget of the bridal of the actual wedding to the groom, and the groom would have to then plan a wedding. Now, when I used to watch that show before, I wasn't really involved in the wedding scene, but now I fully understand the wedding. So when I saw your story come up on the thing, it proper resonated with me so much, especially with what you do with the Will Smith lookalike stuff and what that did for you afterwards, which we're gonna get into. But before we head down that road, Shad, I really want the people and the listeners to learn a little bit more about you and sort of how you kind of got into what you're doing now. But I know that you used to be a DJ also.
Yeah, I was back in the day, like I'm talking probably when I was like started at probably 14, 15. I was in the sound system in South London. So my stepdad was a DJ from a sound system in High Wycombe called Countryman. And so I used to kind of watch him play music and do what he did. So I'm talking from turntable days. This is before, CDJs and a digital format. This is turntables. And so me and my friends got together, about 4 or 5 of us from college. And what happened, one day we went to this party, and we used to just DJ in our houses, just little things for ourselves. And then one day we went to a party, and the party was dead. And then the girl was upset that the person that was supposed to play the music didn't turn up. So we were like, oh, you know what? Shad, why don't you bring your turntables from your house, get your speakers and da-da-da. So we literally went to each other's houses, got like 2 Jamo speakers, turntables, bought the amplifier, equalizer, and literally we had a stack on the table like this, amplifiers, tape decks, CDJs, and then we just literally tore up the party. And then from that day, we were like, oh, we could be a sound, we could be a sound. And then my stepdad was there sort of nurturing the way in terms of, he already had the big sound system. We're talking, the big 18-inch subwoofers, and then you got the mids on top, and then the tweeters. And so we basically started to grow our sound, and all of us had a specific niche of music. And then we just kind of was kind of just running. I would say running South London, but we were good. Like we were good at what we did, and it went on for about a good 10, 11 years.
Oh, sick. What, as a unit, or was it in terms of music, or you lot as a
group? As a unit, as a crew, so we were called Smooth Cut, Smooth Cut Sound, SKS. So I was like the ragga DJ. You had a jungle, you had a R&B, slow jams, and then we had and one of my friends, Asa Jax, he was our MC. You might even know AC Jacks. They're big on the music scene as well. And then we just all did our thing. We was traveling up and down the country, all over the place, doing a lot of community stuff and house parties and a couple of weddings and yeah, it was just nuts.
And what ages
But
was this?
then you're talking. This would have been, we're talking 90, probably 94, 95, 96. So I must have been 17, 16, 17, 18, that kind of age there. And then, yeah, so I've always had love for DJing. And I think, as you know, as a DJ, you've got to be able to command a room, right?
Correct.
So I think the DJing skills that I learned helped me going forward with other things that I do today.
Yes, correct.
Because you got to be able to walk into a room and command or demand attention or control the energy in that room. And it's exactly the same thing with any entertainment. And so, but then it got to a point there were 6 of us, and back then you're going out for, I don't know, 150 quid, and you're like, you split that between 6 people, and it's like it's 25, £20, £20, £20, £20. You know what I mean? So what we kind of ended up doing was just putting it into like a savings, a bank account, like a bank account, and we kind of use it to buy equipment. So we then bought our own amplifiers, bought our own decks, our own whatever, and we had a big sound system, big sound system. And then it started to fizzle out because it was during the time when noise pollution came out, and then councils started coming to house parties and shutting them down. So there was one time we was on the news, actually, South London news, because they came to one of our parties. We opened the door and there's a big camera crew outside. And it was just like, yo, and we're in the back, in the party, like, yo. And then from they started killing off house parties, it just kind of killed the whole DJs in that sense.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? How it used to be. Yeah. So the vibe then started going more towards clubs and venues and stuff, and it's just it was a vibe.
It was a fun time for while it was going in. Okay. So we've done 10 years as DJs. DJ as your crew and you as a DJ and as an entertainer, which I like that you highlighted. So when did the Will Smith start, the Lookalike work? When did that kick in? Did that kick in while you was doing the DJing? Was it after? When did all that sort of start?
So if I started DJing in 94, 93, 94, and it was around about 97 where I think the first Men in Black came out, or 97, 98.
Okay.
And that's when there was a massive, like Sony did this big sort of marketing thing. So you had posters everywhere, Will Smith, Men in Black. And I'll never forget, I was walking down with my boys and it was a sunny day, I was wearing sunglasses. And one of the guys was like, wow, you look like better in the poster. And I remember standing next to it and it was like a little laugh and that was it. And then the following year, I had a girlfriend when I was younger, and her mum made a reference that I looked like that boy, the Fresh Prince, right? So I'm thinking, okay, again, don't know, not thinking what I can do with it. Do you know what I'm saying? And also, we're talking pre-internet, pre-social media, pre-anything. So there's nothing out there. The web internet was just starting, just starting. Yeah. We're talking dial-up.
Yeah, AOL when
modems and them kind of too. Yeah. And so then the following year I started working for TFL.
Okay.
London Underground. Yeah. So I was a station assistant at North Greenwich.
Okay.
And part of the training I was North Greenwich East London line, which is no longer there. It's something else now. And literally one day, like every day I'd get people making a comment. Oh my God, you like Will Smith? Oh my God, anyone ever said you like Will Smith? Oh my God, you like Will Smith? To the point where they come from, right, Will, my ticket's not working. And it was that kind of little, And again, I'm just going with it as a little, okay. And then particularly one day, this guy approached me and he says, I got a friend that's a lookalike and makes money from being a lookalike. And I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking, what is a lookalike? You know what I'm saying? And he's like, no. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, so there's a magazine that comes out on a Thursday called The Stage, which is like for actors and dancers and theatre stuff. Okay. But in the back of it, there were these lookalike agencies. And he's like, yeah, have a look at it. So the following Thursday, I got hold of a copy. In the back, there's a couple of these lookalike agencies. And I sent my pictures off to one of them. And then literally within a few weeks, I got a letter back saying, yeah, you do like Will Smith. But it was kind of like a pre-templated letter filled in the dots. You look like Will Smith and da-da-da-da. And I kind of took it a little bit less personal. And then the bottom line says something along the lines of, don't expect to give up your day job because only sort of the royal family and presidential make money
Yeah,
sort of
as in,
thing.
oh, in the
And
lookalike world, you mean? That's what they was trying to say to me.
in the lookalike world, yeah. Obviously back then, so I'm like, all right, cool. So within I think 2 weeks, I got my first job, which was front cover of a magazine in this electrical magazine that were doing these sort of wind up torches for the third world countries,
Okay.
and they had the sort of Men in Black poles with these big torches, and that was like my first job. And then from there, I just started meeting more people, more agencies, and then the work started to fly in, and then I started to do so much stuff that I was just like, and I was 18 at the time, and I'm just doing stuff. I'm just like, yo. Like at 19, I remember I had a job in Abu Dhabi, and I'm like, where the hell's
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Well,
Do you know what I mean?
this is before Abu Dhabi was big in that, and it was popping.
Yeah. We're talking like 1999, right? And I'm flying out to this place, and it's just desert. And then you see these big buildings, and in my head, I'm thinking like Desert Strike. 'Cause I used to
Yeah, yeah. On the
I like
game,
play
on
gaming, so I'm
SNES.
thinking, yeah. So I'm thinking Desert Strike when the helicopter pulls up, you blow up the house, people come out, and that's what I'm thinking. And that's what I'm seeing, and I'm just like, oh, this is mad. This is mad. And I do this one job there, and then again, I started some jobs in Dubai, and again, this is 2000, so Dubai wasn't even
Was
what
what it is
Dubai is
now? Yeah,
today.
yeah. Early days.
Yeah, there were like maybe 4 or 5 high-rise buildings, and that was it, and the strip. Do you know what I'm saying? And so, and then I went on to do, so basically, I got invited to a karaoke night with one of my agents,
Okay.
and it was just we went out for some drinks in town, and then we went out, and then it's karaoke night, and everyone's in there doing karaoke, and she's like, "Oh, go on, Dave Will Smith, Dave Will Smith," and I'm like, so, all right, go on. So went on the karaoke, and I think I did Miami, I think it was. And everyone's like, oh my God, oh, do it again, do it again, do it again.
Yeah.
So I did the same song again, right? And then I'm sitting there thinking, hold on, let's turn this into a show, you know? And then it's like, yeah. And then literally I put together a tribute show. So I actually do like a live tribute show of Will Smith, like all his hits.
And this is you
And then that
putting
went
on the
on
show
to
yourself, right?
Yeah. So I do the show myself, do the voice, sound, everything. So I do the show. I had dancers back then, and that was as a lookalike, it adds to your string to be able to perform as well. Because a lot of people can just turn up and look like someone, but to turn up, look like, sound like, perform like, you're pretty much the whole package, triple threat.
Correct.
And so yeah. And so I ended up putting together a show, and again, that went on to do. Started doing like Butlins, 90s Weekenders. I was doing birthdays, private parties, weddings, corporate events, a lot of Christmas end of year parties. And because I turn up as Will Smith, Men in Black, which is the biggest thing that I get asked to do, it always works at like a corporate event.
Yeah.
And then because everyone's black tie and gown, so you got the Men in Black. And I'm walking around, I can just walk around in character taking the piss out of everybody and chatting up. I could flirt with people because it's all in character.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And then after that, I'd end up doing like maybe 10 minutes on the stage, doing some songs as well. And so it just kind of stretched out what I was doing. And then my reach got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then, like I said, the things that I'd get requested were just crazy.
Mad.
And I'd be like, yeah, and that's 27 years ago. And the fact that I'm still doing it today. And I've actually, well, you're probably going to ask it, but I've actually met him and I've actually worked with him. So it's just been a journey. Now.
So when you're saying when those things started early and it was in like Abu Dhabi and those early type bookings, was you doing that? It sounds like you was doing that while you was doing the DJing stuff.
Yeah, so I think the DJing thing kind of was starting to come down a little bit because it got to this point where the money wasn't the greatest. And everyone was just getting older and doing their own thing and kind of going slightly their own way. And then I kind of made a decision: do I DJ and get paid £30 or £50 or whatever we're getting, or do I do Will and get paid? I think I was getting something like $250 to $300 a performance then. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I'm gonna put my eggs in this basket.
I'm gonna go
do you know what I'm saying?
this one's making more financial sense.
Yeah. And so and then the DJing thing, like I said, it became harder with things like noise pollution, and so then what you then had is more DJing in clubs, so you didn't need a sound system. And then it's like not everybody was available, or some were. And then because I worked in the underground, shift work was a killer. It made my social life a lot harder. And then but it was phasing out by that point anyway, And then one of the guys moved to Sweden, And then yeah, that was
That was
it.
it.
He was started DJing in Sweden, and that was it. Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
to be fair, by the
You
sounds of
know.
it, it was you know, with the noise pollution, your guy moving to Sweden, it was like an open door to be like, well, this is a new venture which you can
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
put most of your
yeah,
time into this because
yeah,
it's paying you more. It's more kind of you're bringing all the skills that you're saying into the things, and then that sort of makes it a bit more wholesome and something that you can actually chase and do.
yeah.
So that makes much more sense. And oh yeah,
100%.
I heard you quickly mention. Well, one thing I did want to touch on is you have actually met Will Smith.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So yeah, I mean, it took 25 years, but I did actually meet him. When's the first time? So I worked with him like 3 or 4 times now.
Hmm.
And what it was, he's filming a documentary. I don't know if you saw his documentary, Welcome to Earth.
Yes, I did. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So originally I was supposed to be on that, but at the time that they approached me to work with him on that, and this would have been the first time I would have ever met him,
Hmm.
I was going for my divorce,
Okay.
and I'd also just literally, and that year I'd planned this motorcycle trip around Europe,
Hmm.
and the dates clashed. So I was left with a point of, all right, so do I like, because I had 6 guys going on this trip around Europe that we've been planning for a year,
Hmm.
hotels booked, ferries, everything, right? Do I say to these guys, look, I can't go on it now because I've got to go and work with Will Smith, right? Um, or and also the shit I was going through with my ex-wife. I couldn't then say I was supposed to have my son that time, so I couldn't say, well, I can't have my son now because I'm going to go be working with Will.
Yeah.
Because during divorce time, it's like, how much are you going to get paid for
Yeah.
that? You know, it's the kind of thing. Hey, better put that down. That kind of shit. So I'm just like, man. So yeah. I'm literally sat there with this idea of, okay, the bike thing, the divorce, Will Smith. What do I
What do
do?
you
So I
do?
spoke to the guys and I said, look, what do you think I should do? And they were like, listen, you've been doing this Will Smith all your life, bro. Like, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Like, you need to take it.
Hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, but you're my boys, and I'm the leader of this thing. I've done this whole thing, and I'm supposed to be leading everyone on this trip. I can't just say, here, take the itinerary and go.
Yeah, yeah.
And I like riding motorbikes, so I was excited for it. And then I'm just like, oh, then they were trying to basically. I was talking to the guys, the production company, and they were trying to plan for me to come out and then fly back to pick up the bike trip. But I said, how are you gonna get my bike in the middle of Germany or wherever we're gonna be
Yeah,
at the time? I
yeah.
said, no, no, no. But then I think most importantly, I think it was more to do with my divorce. Why I was probably less inclined to do it because I just thought I just don't want to rock the boat
Yeah,
because we
it's
were
just
it was going for a bad divorce. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So, and then I said to myself, you know what? If it's meant to be, it will happen.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, it will happen in the future. All right. And so I'm on this bike trip and we're flying around, we're going around Monaco and best time of our lives. And I'm checked on social. Will Smith's in the Bahamas. I would have been there. I would have been
I'm
there with him.
supposed to be
You know what I mean? And then it's like I'm looking at it. He's in the Serengeti. Oh, I would have been there too, but I was like, yo, and I'm sitting there thinking, you know what? Um, when it's my time, it's my time. That's all I'm telling
yeah.
myself because that's the only way I can kind
That's
of
the only
make
way you can
myself
keep
feel at
yourself
peace.
sane. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've got people thinking, bro, I would have gone, man. I would have gone, bro. You're mad. I would have just gone, bro. And I'm like, nah. I said, listen, like, friends and family are important to me,
Yeah, yeah,
you
correct.
know,
Yeah.
and opportunities like this can happen again. So I just have to give faith that it will happen again.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then fast forward like about 2, 3 years later, just was it just before or just after COVID? Might be just before, just or during the end of COVID, I got a call from them again, from the same company saying, look, we got this other thing. You're gonna get to meet Will in Guatemala. And I was just like, where's that? But it's South America. And I'm just like, okay. And so I was like, all right. So then I'm thinking, you
Yeah,
see what I'm
yeah.
saying, Shad?
Patience,
If
patience.
it's meant
Meant
to
to
be,
be,
it will
it will
be,
be.
right?
Correct.
And so, yeah. And so I literally just said, literally went to so and so to meet him. And funny enough, he got COVID, I think, and he didn't turn up.
Oh wow.
Night, and I was so back early. And then I'm just sitting there like, it's not meant
Yeah,
to
it's not. Yeah,
be.
yeah.
It's
Clear.
not meant to be, you know. It's not meant to be clearly because there's 2 opportunities now. It's not happening. I'm just like, Shad, you should have gone Bahamas, bro. But in my head, I'm like, no, no, no.
No,
If it's meant to be, bro, it will
it will
be.
be.
Yeah. It would be. And then I think about 3 years later, I got approached by another company.
This is a different company, yeah?
It was actually the same, but they're different parts of the same company, but so different people that I'm talking to. And yeah, it's like, look, we've got this so and so, and I'm almost like, listen, if it's gonna happen and I'm gonna meet him, then yes. If it's not, I'm not involved because you've been playing my feelings too much, right? There was a lot of stop. And then yeah, it was like, yeah, no, we're definitely gonna meet him, blah 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 blah, whatever. And it's like, okay, cool. And then yeah, so I flew out to where was the first place I flew out to? Botswana.
Oh wow.
And that's where I first met him. And yeah, it was the weirdest thing because I'm being sent. I'm basically body doubling for him.
Okay.
So so you know what body doubles do? Like a lot of people don't realize that what body doubles are used for. Like a lot of shows where you might see, like just say you have the opening scene where you got the protagonist walking along the desert.
Yeah.
And then there's a big pan shot. That's normally a body double.
Okay, it's not
doing
actual,
that kind of
it's
stuff.
not actual person.
Yeah. So anything that's long, far away, walking in the distance is probably a body double.
Okay.
So that's the sort of stuff that I was doing over there. And then anything that's close and face up is going to be him. Yeah. So the guy Tom of Utopia, him and Will, they talk a lot, and his group and what's not. And then it was so funny because when Will was on set for the first time, I'm getting heart palpitations. I'm like, shit, this is the moment, bro. This is 26 years in the making. I'm thinking, I got to put on my best Will. I'm just like, man, and I'm just like trying to be the best Will that I could be right now, you know. So I'm standing tall, chest out, and I'm like, okay, let's wait for the meeting. And then you hear Will Smith's on the set, and everyone's talking on the radio. And you just hear his voice just resonates. Like he's just got this deep tone, you know. So when I put on his voice, I have to come down, you know, this whole jig thing. So and
that was wicked.
I can hear him. Yeah. And I can hear, and I'm like, oh, he's here. And I'm just like, shit, okay, Shad, just be cool. You don't want to be those super fans, just be cool. And then he's come in, and I see him, and then we've looked eyes for a few seconds. It's almost like, and I'm like, okay. All right, cool. It's coming over, man. All right, Shad. And then Tom's like, Shad, Will, this is Shad. Shad, this is Will. And I'm like, hey, Will. He's like, hey, Shad. And it's like a little shoulder badge. And he's gone. And I'm just like, what? Was that it?
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to say how much I look like you? And it's going to
give me something.
Yeah, it's going to walk off like that, you know? And I'm just like, oh, okay. Yeah. And the thing is, because I'd been out there 2 weeks before he got there, and I was basically doing everything he's going to do.
Oh, right.
So that the camera crew can know what cameras to use, what positions to set in, and so on. So I did him for 2 weeks.
Right.
And then when he's come, I'm just like surplus to requirements. Yeah. So I'm just on standby, basically, right? And literally he's walked past and he's there talking, and I'm looking at it and I'm just like, is this my life? Like, do I want to be the back guy? Like, just the stand over there type guy? Like, you know, and I'm sitting there thinking, like, I don't think this is for me, you know? Like, I'm not saying I want to be out there, the guy in control, or the guy at the forefront, but I'm used to doing gigs and shows where I'm the front person, Even though I'm being him and he's here, they're coming to see Will Smith tribute or Will Smith lookalike. And I'm just like, yeah, this is weird. I'm kind of weirded out now, you know, like this. And do I want to spend my whole life just being the backup guy, like sort of thing? Like, I don't know. But then over the next few days, we had a lot more interaction and conversation. Okay. So it became a lot more at peace. And he's like, yeah, and he's very appreciative of what I do or what we do. Okay. So a lot of times when I'm on set, because I might be just standing there while they set the cameras up, and then he comes on. So I'll be there, and then he'll say something like, "Looks awfully tight over there for you, big man," and I'm like, "Just keeping it warm for you," you know. This little interaction like that. And it was just a nice, you know. And he's very respectful, and he's you know, very appreciative and stuff. And then then I went on to do like 3 or 4 different episodes all over the world. Different countries, and this should be out next year because it's not actually out yet. It should be out next year, you know. And yeah, it was just the pinnacle of the journey that I've had to now reach here and meet him in person and have the conversation. And then the best thing about that is on the fourth time when we was in Papua New Guinea, because me and his team kind of got on quite well. One of his managers, his road manager, Scotty, me and him are quite tight. And I said, Scotty, do me a favor, just get me like 5 minutes with Will. Like, I just want to have a one-to-one offset, just me and him chat, blah, blah, you know.
Catch up.
Yeah. So literally on the last day of the set, it makes it sound a bit romantic. Yeah, last day of the set, we're walking along the beach. He's going back to his boat. It's sunsetting, he's going back to his boat. So he's like, yeah, man. So we're talking. And I just said, Will, look, I just want to say like, I've been rehearsing this speech for about 20 years, you know, and I'm trying not to sound like some stupid person. And I'm just like, look, unbeknownst to you, I just wanted to say how thankful I am. I said, I'm a grown-ass man. I almost had tears in my eyes. Like, that's how emotional it was. And he was just like, man, look, read it in. We had this kind of man hug on the beach.
Nice.
Bro, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. And he's like, man, I appreciate you. So then I said to him, like, you know, I do like a whole show, like I perform your songs and stuff. And he's like, that's crazy. And I said, yeah, like I do like a whole show. So then this is the killer, and I'm going to hold him to this, right? He says to me, he goes, Shad, imagine you were doing a show and I came out. We'd shut down the internet. And I'd be like, and I was just like, yo, just say when, bro. Just say when, like, shit, you know? And then the fact that he was thinking that far ahead, like, you know, we could actually do, and I was like, oh, cool, this could actually work, you know? Hasn't happened yet. But to this day, it's kind of something that sits with me. Do you know what I'm saying? And it was just like a real nice conversation. And I just wanted to say thank you. Like, I didn't want nothing from him other than he now knows that I exist and do what I do. And I'm thankful for what he's enabled me to do. And that's it. You know, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, so when you're going to sign me up as your official body double? Like, come on, man.
Come on, let's make this official, bro. Like, I could be there, bro.
Yeah. I could be there. I could work 6 months of the year, just fly here, there, whatever. Listen, cool. Because of the build up to that me going and meeting him, I was having this conversation with myself because I'm a train driver, tube driver. So I drive tube trains as well. And normally I'm in the front of the cab interviewing myself. Like, I'm almost saying to Will, like, yeah, you know, this is my salary, so I'd accept this if my house is paid off, and then I could do that for this, and you know, give me like a 5-year contract. This is how I'm thinking in my head.
Right, you've got the whole plan, you know, the whole financial breakdown, everything.
The whole plan, yeah. I'm just like, you know, it didn't go that way, but I'm tight with his team. You know what I mean? I'm tight with his team, so it's almost like, you know, when he's here, I know when he's here because they were shouting me, or I'd go and meet them and so on and so forth.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like, even like, you know the DJ AG thing that he was at?
Yeah.
Will Smith was at King's Cross. So imagine this, how crazy this is. 2 weeks before that date, I contacted DJ AG and I said, look, would you like me to come down and do a little Will Smith tribute thing on it? He goes, come down. Because I saw Tom Mooch, a comedian, on there, and I thought, okay, they're doing little funny bits as well. So I thought, okay, cool. So I said, let me come down. Yeah, so I said, let me come down and do a little Will Smith thing. He's like, yeah, cool, man. Gave me all the dates, blah, 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 blah. And then about 2 weeks later, I hadn't gone down at that point. And then someone's messaged me, Will Smith's at DJ AG. And I'm like, what? And I looked and it's like, oh, shit. So I'm like, I didn't know they were coming. So I reached out to his team and said, oh, I didn't know you guys were here. And they said, yeah, we came in last night, blah, 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 blah. And then, unfortunately, that same day I was at work. Yeah. And I'm a tube driver. And I was up and down Edgware Road. And I finished work that day at 7:00. Yeah. He was at King's Cross at 6:30. Right. I was at Edgware Road Station, which is 5 stops from King's Cross. Yeah. At 6:25.
Oh my
yeah.
days.
And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm gonna leave my train here and just go, you know. shut down the whole underground. Just leave it in platform and just go.
No drive.
Yeah. That's it. Man's gone missing. The driver's gone missing, right? And then you can see me on stage in Will Smith. Right? And I'm just like, and I'm sitting there thinking, oh, this is messed up, man. This is so messed up, man. But then a part of me is like, I don't really want to go there and kind of just be that guy trying to be in that guy.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we have our connection, I don't need to sort of be in his space. I kind of respect his personal space and the fact that he's because a part of me is also like, I never actually asked him whether he's comfortable with knowing that there's someone out there that's a lookalike of him. Do you know what I mean? So, but then when I see how he's moving on socials, I think he's cool with it. Like he seems to be cool with it. So I can't really complain, you know. And so so that was That's when I met him, man.
Oh, well, I'm sure you're
And
gonna.
then
I'm sure you're gonna meet
yeah.
him again. I'm sure there's gonna be another encounter. Like that sounds very strong. And from what you were saying when you was shooting, that was you said that film's coming out next year.
So it's a documentary again, similar to the
Oh, so it was a
Welcome to
documentary. It
Earth.
wasn't like a film like one of his.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no, documentary. Yeah, but I think it's more focused on him and his journey around these different parts of the world.
Okay, okay.
So that should be out in the new year,
Do you know
apparently.
what it's called, or do you know what it's gonna be called?
Well, the working title was Pole to Pole,
Okay, okay.
Pole to Pole. So North Pole to South Pole.
So,
That's the working title.
so if that comes out, when they see the long shots, that's you.
Most of the long shots would be me. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, I'm gonna
yeah,
be looking for that long
yeah.
shot.
It's fun.
I'm gonna be looking for that long shot more than Will. I'm
Yeah,
like, yeah, where's Shad? There he is. Pause, babe. Hey,
yeah.
zoom in,
That's
zoom in.
I'm sure that's Shad. Look, that's Shad's hand. Look, there's a little scar there. That's Shad's hand. Look, that's Shad's hand.
Screenshot in the hand, like, yeah, I'm like, that's right.
I tell you what they probably will do. They might use a lot of my stuff for the underwater stuff because we had to do some free diving.
Okay.
Yeah, like it was quite intense. Like it was a lot more involved than I thought it'd be.
Which is good though, right?
And on this
That's
particular
kind of
one,
what you
there's
want to be doing. You want to be
yeah,
doing
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But I remember once one of the episodes they were like they kept asking, "Are you comfortable in water?" You know, black people in water. Are you comfortable in water? Yeah, I can swim. Can swim. Like I'm like I can swim. I'm cool. I love the sea. And like, cool, yeah, because we're gonna be doing some water, blah blah blah. All right, no problem. And they kept asking, "Can you swim 200 meters?" And I'm thinking, um, maybe like 50. I could probably do 100, and then jump up, then do a bit of backstroke and do the other 100 on my back. You know what I mean? Like that kind of things there. And I'm thinking like, yeah, cool, cool, cool. When I get out there now, they're like, yeah, so basically you're gonna be doing some free diving. I said, what's free diving? Free diving when when you go underwater and you literally you've not got no gas
No,
tank, you're
nothing.
just
Yeah,
going
just
down like 2 meters. Yeah. And I'm just like, yeah, but isn't that a skill? Haven't you got to learn to hold your breath and da da da? Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So we're out in the middle of the sea, just diving in up like one. This is the funniest thing ever. With one scene, they wanted me to just dive into the sea,
and this is an
and I'm
open
just like,
sea,
so out
open, big open
open
water.
sea.
Yo.
Yeah, it's probably more inland, but we take the boat out into the middle of nowhere, and it's just pure anything around you. And all right, Shad, we need you to just jump in. And I'm just like, what? Just like that, yeah?
What?
Just like
Are
that.
you not sure
And
it's all
there's like
right out
one
here? You sure
safety
there's not
diver.
like jellyfish and shark? We're just out here in
Yeah,
the
and
water.
sharks.
I can't
Yeah,
see.
yeah, yeah.
Like I can't see. You're
Yeah.
not just like with your cameras. Like yeah, jump in.
I can't see the bottom. I
It's
can't see
pitch
the bottom,
black.
I can't see the bottom. And there was one like dive under the boat just as a safety guy. And like, yeah. So literally I had these big sort of flipper fins on. I take them off and then just dive in. I'm like, all right, so yeah. All right, Shad, when you ready? Okay. I'm just like, yeah. Get to the end of the boat and I just jump in. And I can't feel the bottom, right? So I'm going down, I'm still going down. I'm like, I can't feel the swim back up. Cool. And I get out, climb out the boat now. And all right, cool. All right, we need to do it again from this
Yep.
angle. Start to do it from another angle. Right? So I've done it again. And again, I'm just like, look, this is some serious, serious stuff. Come back out again. I think I did it like 3 times. And then I was like, all right, cool. And then there's another scene where they're in this shallow bit of water and they wanted this like beautiful shot where they had we're on these long sort of fisherman boats and they wanted the reef sharks to be swimming under the boat. Yeah. So I'm on the boat. Yeah. The drone is so you got the drone in the sky giving you that overhead shot. And the water's so crystal clear, you can see all of the things flying around. And they wanted to get the boat, the shark swimming under the boat. I'm sitting on the boat, on this boat. They're not big sharks. The sharks are little. They're probably like maybe this big.
Okay, they're not like
right?
the mad sharks. Okay, cool.
Nah, not like the big white sharks. So they're throwing tuna and
bait
fish
and
in there
whatnot,
to trap the sharks and what's that? Yeah. This time the sharks are just all, and I'm just like, yo, listen. And I'm sitting on this boat just getting burnt by the sun because the sun was burning down on me, boy. And that's one of the maddest things because Will Smith's a lot lighter than I am.
Okay.
And as soon as when I go to our country,
got darker.
my skin tone within hours, literally, I'm 4 shades darker by the end of the day. And then so when I first met him, first I noticed is wow, this brother's almost light skinned. He's quite fair. Yeah. And I'm saying, but then it doesn't really matter because from a visual perspective, it's so and then it was just some of the stuff. Like I said, it's still some amazing stuff that I get to do. Like even the free diving, I'm swimming down under this water, and they're filming from every angle, and there's like this little sort of transponder in the middle of, they pull it between this coral, and that's to swim down, pick it up, give a little look around, and then swim to the top. Bro, it took me about 17 takes because at one point I couldn't get down, and my breath was, and my ears are
Popping
popping around my thing
pressure
to
and
try
that.
and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
equalize, and I'm just like, yo, listen. And then I go to pick up the thing, and these little clownfish just come out of the little coral, and I'm like, little thing. I'm like, yo, because they're quite, you know. And I'm just like, listen, I want my cup. And they said again and again and again and again and again. So yeah, but again, it's one of those things that I look back on life and be like, you know what? Imagine
Yeah.
it was amazing, amazing, amazing.
Nah, that's
You know. So yeah, it's journeys,
journeys.
journeys.
Talking about journeys, there's something else that I saw on your page, Chad, which I thought was hilarious, and it's another story I know, is when you was on a cage, bro. You was on a crane. Guys, yeah, we're gonna put the video up in a second. Yeah, a crane. The crane is picking him up. He's in like this cage thing, and they're gonna put you down on a stage to perform.
Yeah,
And this sounds like another
yeah,
one similar to what you was just talking about diving in the water. You know, when for me, the first thing I'll be thinking about, Chad, is like, yo, is there health and safety been? Is there been health and safety
yeah.
been done here? Do you know what I mean? Because I can see a crane, and I can see the cranes. Like, are you? Is that like, is this safe? And I
Yeah.
remember you were saying in the story about public liability insurance. It's like, what's with the public liability insurance? And now I'm on a crane. Tell me about
Yeah,
the
yeah.
crane stories. Let us know about the crane story, because that sounds like another
Bro,
scary one, man.
listen, so I've got this agent called Frank, nicest guy in the world. Even to this day, like me and Frank, I've got a job to him next month. He's a really, really good guy. But he's when you see him, he looks like a little Danny DeVito. He's just really small and tiny, but just big personality. So he got me this job, and it's like this champagne type party. I think it might have been Independence Day. Yeah, Independence Day party. So he got this big Moet and Shandon sponsored event in this sort of mansion in the middle of East Germany.
Mm-hmm.
So I get there, and I'm just like, I'm seeing all these high-end vehicles. I walk in, it's like chandeliers, and it's just this amazing grand house. I'm like, oh, this is mad. I walk out into the garden, it's all landscaped, and it kind of goes down in tiers, and at the bottom there's like a big lake, right? So my agent's like, yeah, they want you to elevate you onto the stage, and you come out and then perform 3 tracks, and then that's it, and take pictures. And I was like, ah, cool. So in my head, I'm thinking there's a stage door that opens, and I get elevated up, and I come out and I
So that
spin.
word
Yeah,
elevate,
that's what
that's
I'm.
kind of what you thought. Like, I'm
Yeah,
coming up.
that's what I'm
Yeah, yeah.
thinking.
But
Yeah, I'm
they've got
coming up.
something
I'm
else
coming
in
up.
their
Yeah,
mind,
yeah.
didn't it?
So listen. So I get there and we're walking down. The guy's like, "Hey, Shad, nice to meet you." Blah blah blah. Yeah, blah blah. Cool. And we're looking around saying, "This is a good. This is like it's going to be a good party." Do you know what I'm saying? And then I remember he's like, I was like looking at the stage. And I'm kind of working out. So I mean, they had like a little path to the stage on one side of the, because it's in the middle of this lake, and there's like a little stage in the middle, and there's one little thin little strip that you can walk onto. So I'm thinking, how am I actually going to elevate onto that stage? Da, da, da. Then I turn to my right, and in my eye, I see this. I look around, I'm like, oh, hell no. And I look up like, oh, bro. And I'm thinking, Frank, where are you, bro? Because Frank, he never gives me all the details, right? And it's one of these industrial sized cranes, yeah?
Yeah.
And then the worst thing about it, there's a cage on the end, and it's like this rusty cage, and they had these big links. The links were about this big each, so it was quite strong. And they're at the top, and I'm thinking, what? So that's gonna lift, and so, but what? Okay, okay. The night comes, and I'm wearing a white suit,
White suit.
and it's 8 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock at night, so it's pitch black. So the idea is I go up in silence. No one knows I'm
No
in
one
the
even
sky,
knows. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then yeah, and then it's like floodlights, pow, 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 pow. So I get in this cage, and literally I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking, wow, bro, like I'm holding on. It's not that wide. It's probably as wide as I'm
Yeah,
doing if
yeah,
I'm doing
yeah.
dips. It's that wide and maybe 2 meters long, and it's going up in the sky now, and it's night. It's a bit windy, so it's doing all this swaying to the side
You
shit,
must
and
have
I'm just
been.
like,
I
oh
would have been
man.
bricking it, bro. I would have been like, I don't know about this, you know. I would have been like, if this thing just goes tink and starts to fall, I'm done out
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
I'm finished out here.
yo. But I'm just like, God's got my back, man. You know what I
You have
mean?
to.
I'm gonna be
You
safe.
have to be like that at that point.
I'm gonna be safe. There's no way they're gonna let me go up there to say it's safe, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? So I'm up in the sky and it's swaying, swaying, swaying. And then showtime. Then they start playing the national anthem. dun, 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 dun. And the power lights come up, and they got all the like the cages decorated in American flag.
Mm.
So I'm coming in the sky like Superman, like yeah, dun, dun, dun. So it's coming across, and then it's landing now. As it's landing, it's doing this, and I'm thinking this ain't gonna land straight, and it's doing this, and then it lands and lands at an angle, poof, and then it does this little tip, 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 and then lands straight. And I get out, and the mic's in my pocket. And I remember take the mic out. Yo, this is guy. Then I break into song, and then I'm cool at that point.
Mm.
But I literally, for that split second, I was like, listen, it might tip all day over.
You
And
just fall
then,
out the cage.
and then, yeah, bro. But again, it was one of those stories that is like, it looked great. But from my perspective, I was just like, yo, Frank. So when I get a job to Frank now, I'm like, Frank, I
I
need
need all
all
the
the
details,
details,
Frank.
yeah,
Stop
all of
this
the
like one
details,
sentence stuff,
all of the
bro.
details. Yeah, bro. Yeah, elevate onto stage. That's not elevate, but and because he's German, there's a language barrier.
Yeah.
So there's sometimes when he's trying to get something across, he doesn't quite understand.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm trying to bad him up, he doesn't understand
Yeah.
me. You know what I'm saying? Like, Frank, listen, Frank, listen, no, I'm not doing it. So yeah, it was an epic moment, and again, that was like probably 20 years ago now.
Wow. Okay.
That's how long ago it was. So
Guys,
yes,
well, we've
it's
put up some of the images of exactly what we was talking about so you can get a bit of a feel. Because that crane, when I saw that crane looked mad industrial. And I said, bro, that looks crazy. But I'm
yeah,
glad that
it
it was all
was.
safe and it all happened well. And it's mad. It's like you were saying earlier about all the different opportunities that this stuff has given you. And it's put you in some things where you would
Yeah,
never, like, that's why it's so interesting to hear these stories. Because, like, when you see some of these things, you just think, oh, like it was easy and it was fun and it was nice and it was done well. But when you hear the behind the scenes stuff, you hear about all some of the trials and
yeah,
tribulations that some of this stuff entails, which is so interesting. But we are going to get onto the meat
yeah,
and bones, man. Don't Tell the Bride show. And I think, like, what
yeah,
you were saying about the Don't Tell the Bride. First of all, how does that happen? Because you see now we've got, like, when it comes to like marriage shows, we've got like Married at First Sight, which is a popular show at the moment for people
yeah,
getting married. And I always say, like, if you can get a feature on one of these shows, like what can it do for you? Obviously, we don't know, but having you been on that show, and even then, this was a while ago from then. And so,
yeah,
how
yeah.
did you actually get onto the show? Was it another agency job? Was it how did that actually happen?
Yeah, so what happened is in that particular show, because uh, Adam, the groom, wanted celebrity lookalikes, the company didn't have to go looking for them.
Hmm.
So they reached out to agencies asking for lookalikes. And it's funny because they actually got like a lineup of lookalikes for Adam to choose.
Okay.
And there's part of the episode that you see where there's like, I think there's maybe 10 lookalikes in a row. You've got like Will Smith, Simon Cowell, Mr. T, Gordon Ramsay, like all these different faces.
Hmm.
And I've, the groom and his friend are sitting there and they're choosing, nah, not him, maybe not him, nah, actually maybe him. So it's like a lineup that we're going in, an audition almost, right? And then yeah, I got chosen from that. Like, yeah, we want you for the show. Want you, you know. And to be fair, 9 times out of 10, if I go for an audition, I get it because I'm not saying I look like Will, but apparently like I'm quite good at what I
Yeah.
do. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like yeah. So I got that, and then yeah, that so that's actually on the episode itself
Okay.
where they show the actual audition stage of him finding different lookalikes. And then yeah, they had this whole idea of this particular guy wanted a bling type wedding,
Hmm.
and he wanted like celebrity lookalikes there, and he just wanted it to be this massive sort of party for
Okay. Okay.
him and his bride to be. Yeah, so they said, Shad, we want you to basically start the after party, start the music bit.
Hmm.
So obviously the bit that you
The
do when the
reception.
DJ starts
Hmm.
playing. Yeah, the reception, that's it. And so yeah, so it was like, yeah, so what we're gonna do after the first dance or during the first dance, you're gonna come down because it's in this house. You're gonna come down the stairs into the
Hmm.
party, and no one knows that you're there, so it's gonna be a surprise as a lookalike as well as the fact that you can perform as
Hmm.
well. And that was it. And then literally, yeah. So I spent most of the day upstairs, and then it come to the scene. Now I was like, all right, cool. I think only about 4 people knew that I was there.
Okay.
Not everybody knew that I was
Did
there
the bride
because
know?
it
Did the
wanted that
bride know?
element of surprise.
The
No,
bride didn't know.
no. The bride didn't know. The bride didn't know. No,
Okay.
no.
Okay. So just the
Only
groom,
Adam and
his best man,
the groom and
maybe,
a few
and
of his
some of the
best man.
producers.
Yeah, yeah. So they knew. And I think it might be his dad or his granddad or whatever. Some people like that. And then and then it got my bit, and I came down, and literally, I mean, to be fair, anytime I do a show, there's always an impact of that first moment of seeing me. People are, oh my God, is that Will
Yeah,
Smith?
it takes them a
Because I'm
while to.
normally black suit, men in black glasses, and I'm just kind of the whole MIB thing. And then it's, oh my God, and then the fact that I'm singing the songs as well, it just adds to the
Oh my
whole
God, it is Will. Is it Will?
mental.
I don't
Oh
know.
my
Oh
God,
my God. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I've come down, did that, and then it just went down really, really well. So obviously, this is me not seeing the edit before it came out. This is just
Just doing the
live and
wedding. Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then and then when the show came out and I watched it, I wasn't on until the end. Like I'm literally in the last 5 minutes of the show, and I'm probably on there for like 20 seconds, 15 seconds, if that. But that impactful bit there, me coming down the stairs and performing, and then there was a bit where you kind of see everyone dancing around me, and I'm there doing my bit. And then no word of lie, when I watched it live, and I was living in Lewisham I was living in Plumstead at the time, and I've gone back to my PC because we didn't have laptops then. But gone back to my PC, and my inbox was literally blowing up. There was over 150 emails, and when I'm reading, it was like wedding, 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 and I'm just like, yo. So I sat there and I'm like, this is crazy. And then it just kind of shows you the power of TV,
TV. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, which has probably changed today, but it's still equally as big. It just has social media alongside it, so it works
Even
even
more
more
stronger.
powerful.
Yeah, yeah.
And so then it was for me to kind of sift through these emails and kind of work out what was doable, what wasn't. Because when people asked me my price, I don't know what they're thinking. They're thinking I was going to go out for like £100 and just turn up and do Will. And I'm like, no.
It's
Like,
not that season.
lookalike. I mean, lookalikes. Yeah, when you get to certain stages of being a lookalike, your
Go
fees
up. Yeah,
rise,
of
and
course.
yeah. And I think for me, I think at that point, my minimum fee then was about £400. So a lot of people can't afford that in their wedding budget. They're looking like they're looking like a little £80 DJ or £150 DJ. I'm like,
Which
well,
is
I'm just going to
insane.
set you back
It's
about four
crazy.
or five hundred
Yeah,
pounds.
yeah.
Yeah. So I said, you know what? I need to try and find out a way that I'm happy to take maybe a slightly lesser fee to balance out for certain weddings and certain people that I can kind of apply to everybody. So I kind of worked out where I would do like just a 10-minute
Yes.
performance.
Yeah. Get in and get out, innit?
Um, like literally, I'd come in the middle of the first dance, perform for 10 minutes. I'd take pictures for half an hour, and I'm gone. And that's pretty much what I started doing. And so I was then able to fit in more and more weddings over the following 5, 6, 7 years.
Okay.
At that, and then it just kind of, and the reason I did that story because I was just sitting there thinking about it. Like I've started doing a lot more memoirs of stories of my whole journey as a lookalike, and I thought that story is quite an interesting one, you know. And then when you look at that particular episode, it's been shown probably about 20 times since 2012, I think it is. So every time it comes on, there's a little influx of my
I was
inbox
just gonna say,
goes up a bit.
that's the next thing I was gonna ask you. Like, so every time it gets aired or
Yeah,
it gets watched, you just know when it's
yeah,
been aired. You're like, oh, 8 inquiries, 12 inquiries, 15 inquiries, 25 inquiries. You're like,
yeah,
okay, cool. They're airing the
yeah,
show, BBC iPlayer or something. It's being pushed out again.
yeah.
Okay.
But it's not been pushed since 2016 now, 2017, I think it was. But then what was interesting, I was watching one of these dating shows. I think it was First Dates or what's the one? No, what's the one when they go to the little restaurant and sit down at the
Yeah, I
table
think
and
yeah,
eat?
first dates. I think it's called first dates. Yeah.
First Dates, yeah. And it's funny because one of the girls, she was talking to the guy there, and she was like, "Yeah, so my idea of a wedding would be to have like a Will Smith lookalike turn up at my wedding." Da, 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 da. And I'm sitting there thinking, "Yo, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here." Like I'm the only one that does it. I'm the only guy. Yeah, I mean, I'm here, I'm here. You know. But what's interesting is all of the dating shows have approached me at some point to go on the show
What as
because
for
for them,
what for what?
as a look to be a
Oh,
participant on the shows,
okay.
yeah, because for them, if I'm single and I'm a Will Smith lookalike, it's good
Yes,
TV,
it is.
and that's how they're looking at it. It's just good TV. So I remember I've had dating in the dark, naked attraction, take me out. They've all come to me, but I've been in relationships at the time like that.
Yeah, that's not.
And the naked attraction, I was like,
No, I don't understand.
I don't know if
I don't
now
understand that
I
show
don't know.
myself. Yeah, I don't understand how someone's gonna be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm looking for love. Yeah, I'm gonna go on a show where I just bear all my things them, and then we're gonna go on a day after and see if it. I think that's a
Nah,
crazy format, man. That's wild.
bro, I got kids. I got kids. I can't be having my things
Do
out
you know what
and
I
so and
mean?
so.
Like, yo.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, and then obviously, and then it's funny because when I responded back to the woman as a joke, and I said, look, I said, unfortunately, I'm in a relationship, so it's not a show that I want to go on. And to be fair, I'm not sure that my things look like Will Smith, so I couldn't even. So yeah, I was just like, yeah, man. Um, yeah, it's been funny. It's
So
been
like
funny.
150 inquiries, man. That is insane. You know, like I think like even for a lot of people listening now, this is the thing I'm saying about opportunities. Do you know what I mean? When opportunities arise,
Yeah,
definitely take them because, like you're saying, you don't know where it can lead you and what other things it can sort of bring you. Because listening to what you're saying, like you've only just shared with us a couple of stories, but I know you got loads and loads and loads
yeah,
from all the years and all the different things that you've experienced at
yeah,
weddings and parties and then like shows, doing shows, performing, all that sort of stuff, meeting other different celebrities,
yeah.
other different lookalikes, different agencies, like the guy that you're talking about, Frank, and all these different characters and different people that you've met. And like you're saying, that's kept you busy all the way from
Mm,
what Laos now. What you're saying, we're talking from like 99, 2000, all the way up until now. Do you know what I mean? That's
mm.
25 years, and it's going to continue. This ain't the end. This ain't like, oh, okay, it's coming. It's slowing down. No, it's not slowing down. It's just gonna carry on. It's just gonna carry on.
Do you know what? Every year, I wake up at the beginning of the year, and I'm like, am I gonna keep doing this?
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, my hairline's starting to disappear, so I got to start spraying bits of there and whatever. And I'm like, am I gonna keep doing this, bro? Like, it's this you and then I'll get a phone call, Shad, can you do sounds? Paying you about 1,200 quid. Yeah, yeah, I'm there,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
Yeah, boom, that's it. I'm there, boom. Yeah, all right, cool. No, no, say less.
yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And so it's, but then I think where I've now gone into my own branding with the motorbike stuff, mad into
Hmm.
bikes. So I wanted to play on the whole MIB because everyone still see me as the Will
You've
Smith
put in
lookalike.
25 years, bro. So yeah, there's an investment there.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So when I got into motorbikes, which was about 7 or 8 years ago, I had this vision of starting my own sort of motorcycle brand.
Okay.
But then I wanted to be like, I don't know if you into bikes at all, but there's a lot of sort of YouTubers and influencers in America based on motorbikes.
Hmm.
And I wanted to kind of be that guy here, but just be more accessible to people like myself.
Okay.
Do you
Okay.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Gotcha.
people that ride like me and I thought, what name am I gonna call? And I thought, you know what? I think MIB
Hmm.
works because people still watch my videos on my socials and they might put a comment. Oh, I thought it was Will Smith for a second. Oh, I thought Will Smith was into motorbikes. Oh, I don't know Will Smith did it. So that's my USP,
Okay.
right? So I'm using that what I've been doing all these years as the USP to my own
Hmm.
business, which
Hmm.
is the motorbike thing.
Hmm.
So I can front a show and people are probably gonna look at it a bit more because they might think of a second that's Will. So then they might, look at it a bit longer
Hmm.
and then play on the whole of that throughout the whole thing. And it just came together as an idea. And so for the last 2 years, I've been building my brand, which is MIB,
Hmm.
which is the clothing brand, the YouTube, the socials, and it's just about
Motorbikes,
motorbikes
yeah.
because I love
Mad
motorbikes.
into bikes is what it's an acronym for Mad into Bikes, but
Yeah,
obviously
mad
uses
into
as
bikes.
MIB,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, Men in Black at the same time because it's
Yeah,
Will
so when I
Smith.
say I say yeah, because I say to people, what's MIB stand for? And they're like, Men in Black. No, mad into
Hmm.
bikes. And I see what you did
Yeah, yeah,
there.
yeah,
See what you
yeah,
did
yeah,
there. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, you got to be smart, man. And again with that, it's like between doing that, I'm still doing the Will Smith stuff.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I'm almost trying to juggle the balance of MIB, my business, MIB, Will Smith lookalike, plus my day job, plus being a father and everything else. So it's kind of like my life is busy.
Hmm.
It's so busy, but I like it, you know.
How do you know what, mentioning that? Because that's one thing, like, I do talk to quite a lot of entrepreneurs about, actually, we're going to, is like being a dad and trying to balance all the things. Because similar to like what you're saying, you're busy, you're flying in different places. It's not like you're just like local.
Mhm.
You're touring certain times, you're doing the bike stuff, you're working. How do you find balancing it all with when it comes to the kids?
Well, I mean, luckily the kids are older now, so I don't need to be responsible for them,
Hmm.
except for my youngest one, which I have him sort of 2 to 3 nights a week.
Hmm.
Um, but then what I find with him is that he's almost molded into a mini me.
Okay.
Like I can already see that he likes the attention of from the fact that he likes dancing, he likes singing. And like the other day I was learning one of Will Smith's new tracks, Beautiful Scars.
Hmm.
And then so I've got it on repeat in the car. And because I need to learn it to a point where I can spit it from
Any
any line
part,
and pick
yeah,
it up.
yeah.
Yeah. And then the other day, I'm listening, and I could hear my son, and he's in his room listening to the same song. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, Dad, I'm learning this song." So when I take him to school in the morning, he'd be like, "Oh, can you play Beautiful Stars?" Oh, I play it, and he goes, "Can you play the instrumental version?" Okay. So I play it, and then I'm sitting there, spitting, oh. And then I said, "Why did you learn that?" And he goes, "Because I wanted to impress you." And I was like,
Wow.
"Look at that, man.
Wow.
Look at that. That's my son."
Mm.
And then what I started doing is, if some certain events that I've had, I've taken him to the show with
Oh,
me.
brilliant.
And I remember I brought him to one of my gigs, and it was the very first time I ever took him to a gig, and I was doing a sound check. And I've got him on stage while I'm doing a sound check, and he's walking beside me. And I think it was the first moment in his life he's kind of experienced that level of just being
On
on
the
a
stage
stage.
with everyone there, yeah.
And I've got the videos of it, and he's walking like this little boy that's so proud that his dad's there, and he's next to his dad, and this time he was probably like 5 or 6 years old, and he's walking on the stage. And then from then I can see his personality is very much out there,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did a show recently where I took him, and I made him do I brought him on for just the two of us, you
Okay.
know. So I started rapping. So I started rapping that song to him, and then he starts doing his little body locking and popping and stuff, and the crowd start going mad, and then he's loving it, and I'm just looking at him thinking, oh,
Okay,
good,
yeah, okay, I see
you
you.
know,
I see you.
yeah, look a little mean, yeah, I see what you're doing, son. I'm gonna have to hand my mental to you. Do you know what I'm saying?
Pass
You
it
know,
down.
and yeah, it's just it's a beautiful thing, man, and the entertainment it's not an easy um industry to get
No,
into
it's
because
not.
all out of all my kids. My second son, Elijah, middle son Elijah, who's 19, he's like a mini me, looks exactly like me apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say to him, "So you're gonna come and say, nah, Dad, I'm not about that. It's not about that." And where his brother was on Love Island, he's almost like, I'm like, your turn next. But I've been TV, when I was on TV, you're next. He goes, nah, I'm cool, Dad.
I ain't trying to
I'm
do that.
cool to sit back here
Mm-hmm.
and do so. Yeah, you know. So everyone's different, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just the balance for me has always been difficult because I've been separated from my kids.
Mm-hmm.
I've always
Oh,
been,
yeah.
not always after my divorce to be separated. So it's kind of trying to find that balance. But the only way to get around it is to incorporate them into your life
Yeah, yeah.
as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
So if I get a job in Germany, I might say, oh, I'll just take him with me, you know. Um, and then, yeah, just chill or take him to a gig. I know that he'd be right on the side of the stage or backstage chilling out. And yeah, and it's life experience for him as well.
Mm-hmm. No, massive,
You know what I
massively,
mean?
massively.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's hard, but we find
We
a way.
find a way. I think I like that thing of what you said about incorporating them into it. Do you know what I mean? Like even with
Yeah,
my son now, he's only 5, and there's times like if I'm going to lock up to get ready for a gig, I'll bring him with me. I
yeah,
just say like, come, and he loves it. Like, yeah, I'm going in, and I say, help, like, move the speakers, take this in, and I'm showing him little
yeah,
things, little tiny things. Do this yourself. This is what this is. This is how this works. That's what this does. Daddy, what's this for? And I explain it to him. This is the lights, and it moves, and they turn on, and they do this, and he's
hmm
like, oh, okay. Like you're saying, I'm just trying to involve him because I want him to understand like everything what I'm doing and how everything works. Whether he uses it or not is totally up to him. But I want him to have the
yeah,
knowledge
yeah,
to be like, this is what my daddy does, and this is how my daddy does it. Do you know what I mean? And then when he is older, I
yeah,
said to him, yeah, you'll be coming out. You'll be coming out on gigs. Yeah, 100%. You're going to be a roadie. Yeah, you're going to be out with me. And once again, you're going to
and
learn
carrying
more.
this.
Learn more.
Yeah, I mean it's different now because there's less to
Yeah.
carry. Whereas back then, pure speaker box and record box and yeah, man, carry that, you take band and
12
whatever.
tens and that. And
Whereas
it's
now
the
you can pack
metal,
it up in
man.
a car.
Oh, this is too much. The vinyls.
Yeah,
The
man.
vinyls, man. Child.
But then again, the learning curve is learning how to set up a system like that because it's quite a complex system when you think of how it works, the amps and the crossovers and blah blah whatever.
Mm,
So I miss that in terms of DJing, just the whole. 'Cause I used to have a set of techniques.
mm.
One of the biggest mistakes I made is I sold them
Same.
like years
Same as
ago.
me, bruv, man. It
I
hurts. I try not
sold
to
them,
think about
and
it, but it hurts.
I had the 1200s as well, man. God, and I bought them from Orange up in Reading,
Mm.
some DJ place in Reading, man, and sold them to another DJ, Jessica Rabbit, her name is,
Oh, Jessica
and I
Rabbit.
want to buy them back, and she wants,
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Yeah.
yeah,
I've heard of
Jess,
her. I've heard of her. 100%. I've heard of her.
yeah, good for. Like, I used to go to college with her. She got to the same college,
Okay.
and I sold them to her years back, man, and worst mistake I ever made is telling them,
Yeah, man, it happens, man. I done the same thing. I sold them. I remember when CDJs like they started. I was one of those DJs that was fighting the vinyl. I was like, nah, man, vinyl, and kept vinyl, kept vinyl. And I remember I was doing clubs, doing everything. Everyone was like CDs, man. I was like, no, 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 vinyl, 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 vinyl. And I remember one time I went to one club. I used to always have like a tiny little CD, like just in case, like inside the vinyl bag.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
remember going to one venue, and this venue had no turntables. It was just two CDJs. I was like, it's
yeah. When they
happened.
start phase them
Yeah,
out.
it's happening. So then from there, I
Yeah,
just converted to
man.
CD. And after that, I was like, okay, let me get my whole my whole connection on CDs. Started doing that, and then now they're catching dust. The decks are just catching dust. So then I sold them.
It's all digital now.
Yeah, and then now
Yeah, bro.
today, 1210s, 1200s cost more today than they did
Bro,
way back then. They're like 50 and 100
bro.
pounds each now,
Bro,
second
I
hand.
saw, bro, I saw something the other day and I was just like, I looked at it and I just said, I know Pioneer Ball had their own set of
Yeah,
turntables as well,
yeah,
which is quite similar. But when I was looking at the price, I'm thinking, bro, that's like, I think I paid like two for like 500. I think I paid like 250 or 400 pounds for
yeah,
my
yeah.
Techniques set of two, and a Newmark
Mixer.
mixer, and Concord
Concord needles.
needles.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Man, listen, man. And the thing is, I've still got all my vinyl here, and it's all downstairs, it's all like locked up. But I used to get up on a Sunday and just juggle,
Hmm.
just let the tune play and put a little and play my little tune, little and thing, and yo, and I long for that again.
Hmm.
So it's almost like my aspiration is to eventually have. I'm just gonna buy some turntables. I don't care. Have a little setup, and then just have some and have my little thing, and then do whatever, man.
Yeah.
Because I have to bring it back.
No,
You
100%,
know.
man. 100%. The DJ in us will never, 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 never die. And where you've got all of
Ah,
those vinyl,
I'm
then you
telling
might
you.
as well put them to work. I was gonna say,
Yeah,
would you
the
go
mass.
digital or would you stay vinyl?
I wouldn't. To be fair, I wouldn't. I don't think I'll DJ again. I wouldn't do digital DJ.
Mm.
Um, I've done a few where you kind of just find and stuff, but it's not the
No,
same.
it's
It's
not
not
the
the same
same.
as getting feel a little box and put like your 7 inch and you're just like, yeah, man, put the middle in the middle and the thing is, I'm not even boasting, but I was a good DJ. Like the way that I was mixing so clean
Mm.
on vinyl that it was like you couldn't even tell it was piece to
Yeah,
piece. That's how clean I
yeah, yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah. Seamless,
You know what I mean?
painless.
And so the art of that is just nowadays people just beat matched and then whatever, and you're just like, there ain't no skill to that, man.
Mm,
Shout,
mm, mm.
get to your little turntable, and I'm old school in it, so I'm gonna be thinking like
Yeah,
that.
straight, straight.
Um, yeah, but then you look at it from the point of yeah, but it's so much easier to get around as a mobile DJ now
Yes.
as it probably was
Yeah,
then,
back then it was
because when you got to carry your
yeah, it's much
yeah,
better,
you
and the
got
technology
sometimes you
makes it
need
easier as well. Do you know what I mean? Like with all the, like you're saying, the speakers, like so now there's no amplifiers. Do you know what I mean? Everything's like built in. You just got to power it, put the sound from the deck straight in, and then you're good to go. Before you had to go
mm,
from your decks, then to the mixer, then to the mixer, then to the amp, then to the amp has to go then separately, then to the speakers, depending on different wires and the oh man, I remember
yeah,
if your
yeah,
amp blew,
adds up,
your speakers could blow. There was so much errors that could happen.
yeah, yeah,
Your amp overheats. You're
yeah,
like, boy, that's feeling kind of hot, you know. You know what I mean? You have to let that cool down. You're
yeah,
like, nah,
yeah,
but it's
yeah,
prime time
yeah,
party. We got to turn it up. So nah, but I'm not turning it up, man. That amp is at its limit. You can remember those little faders that used to flip from side to side, the little lines, and you're like, oh my god,
yeah, yeah,
it's in the
yeah.
red. It's in the red.
It's in the
It's
red.
in the red.
It's like clipping. It's
It's
like
red.
clipping. Bring it down, lift me.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah,
god,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, man.
Um,
I do miss them. I do miss them days though. I do miss them.
Nah, man, there'll be more other days to come with all the different stuff that you're doing, man. But Shad, man, thank you so much, bruv, man. Thank you so much for joining me on
Yeah,
today's pod, bruv. That was a brilliant conversation, man. And I look forward to seeing all
appreciate
the
it, man.
different stuff that you got coming on, guys. Make sure you give Shad a follow. We have put all of his links inside the description of this channel or on this video. But before we go, Shad, is there any last words you would like to say to the listeners? And that can be about anything, bro. It can be anything that you want to share, anything that you want to say, anything at all.
Do you know? I think the one thing I say, and I think I've learned this from doing what I do, is that it's you have to put in the work. You have to you only reap what you sow in it.
Yes, yes.
So but there's no time limit on when you're gonna get those rewards.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've been working on something for a long time and you feel you're not getting nowhere, never give up on it,
Mm-hmm.
because your time can come at any
Any
moment,
moment, correct.
right? Any moment. Like I'm looking at this, it took me 24 years to meet Will Smith. Whereas, not saying that that's what I wanted. That was my end goal. That yeah, one day I'm gonna meet him, and I always wished, always had it in my head or not my head. I always thought that one day you're gonna meet him. One day you're gonna be face to face with Will, and it's just gonna happen. That's why when the whole stuff happened with the Chris Rock and that situation there, it was almost like people like people. That's the first time I started to feel some negativity
Really?
in what I did. First time ever. But it's changing now. Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But then even with that, it's like I still start thinking, you know what, Shad? And this is what I would say to anyone else. If it's meant to be, it will be. You know, like just keep the faith, and put in the
Put
work.
in the work.
Be consistent with it. And
100%.
that's it. Yeah, yeah.
What you
100%.
just said there, I literally, on a regular basis, I say to my listeners and even the people that follow in Instagram, consistency for me is number one. If there's anything you're trying
Yeah.
to do, and you're not consistent with it, it cannot manifest. It just can't. But if you're consistent,
Yeah.
and you know when they always say, "Oh, believe" and all that sort of stuff, definitely. But I don't
Yeah.
like to say it as like, "Oh, just believe in yourself and you can." No.
And it will happen. No, you got
You
to put
got
in
to
the work.
put in the work.
Yeah.
Sitting there and believing and praying, ask, believe, receive. That sounds great. That all sounds
Nah.
action, consistent action. Keep driving forward.
Action.
That's what will reap the reward. So I definitely echo. And I think
And
you're a standing testament, like you're saying. 25 years. 25. He said something,
years later.
and 25 years later, it came.
Yeah.
It came.
Yeah, I mean, I would never I would never even thought that 27, 28 years later, I'd still be doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
In my head, I was like, it'll just be a little phase and da 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 da. And out of all the I've seen lookalikes come and go, but I've been consistent only because of Will Smith's success.
Yeah.
Because if he disappeared into the so and so, then people forget about him.
Correct.
But then, like I said, so you kind of have to just always remain, just I've always been professional as well, professional, humble. I don't like with this industry that I work in. There's some people that almost they get consumed by the fact that they think they're the person, or they need
lose
to be treated
themselves.
like they are the person.
Yeah. I can imagine that. I can imagine
And
that.
I think and I think my humility has come because I'm still working on TFL as a tube driver. It's always kept me grounded.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I've not. There's been days where I'd have a job in Monaco, 5-star glitz, glamour, champagne, limousines. I'd turn up there, do the show, and then fly back the following morning, and then that next evening I'm selling tickets on London Underground.
Yeah, and people would never believe. Like yesterday, if you saw what I was up to yesterday,
if you
this
saw
wouldn't make sense to you what I'm doing right now. Yeah.
Innit? So when I used to have like an idiot at the window saying, "Oh, my ticket ain't working," blah blah blah. I'm looking at it thinking, "Do you know what I was doing yesterday, bro?" Do you know what I'm saying? And this is how you're trying to talk to me. Yesterday I was getting champagne, limousines, first business class, and I got you trying to query over £2.50 on your Oyster card. Like, are you mad? Do you know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of the level where I'm just like, you know what, Shad? God is good, innit?
Yeah.
Just that's why I won't rise to nothing. I just kind of go with it, you know. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Oh, wicked, man.
So that's all I can say, to be fair.
No, man, thank you for that. That was a fantastic take home. Guys, man, make sure you look out for the documentary. You're gonna see Shad in there if he's in there. If you see him diving in the water, at least you know the story behind. When you see sharks, at least you know the story behind. Don't Shad, you're like, that looks good. You're like, no, but he was on the podcast and he was talking about that too there. And if you are if you're into your motorbikes, make sure you go and check out his page, man. If you got a sick bike, I don't know much about bikes. I was into mopeds. I was a moped guy when I was younger. Then I got into scramblers, and I wanted to always get on the super bike thing. I remember I was like, I got to do my license. Then I got into the car stuff, and then from I got into the cars, I was like, the motorbike just became distant, and I never jumped on it, man. But I always wanted to.
I didn't, you know what? I put it off for so many years, and then I just thought I want to know how to ride a bike in case they need some stunt work. You know, I was thinking, let's add a little string to my bow in it. And then the thing is, And then once I did my license, that was it. I was just hooked, and end up doing a couple of track days, and that
That
was
was
it.
it.
I'm just
Yeah.
in. Track days are just adrenaline junkie, 190 miles an hour. And you're just
190.
like 190, 180, 190. Yeah, yeah. It's just flying down, and oh, it's mad. It's mad. So that's what I'm about now. MIB. That's what Mad Into
Mad,
Bikes
mad
is.
into bikes.
Um, yeah. So it's an adrenaline thing. It's one of those things that I put off for so many years because obviously my mum was against it, my
Yeah,
partner
same.
was against
Same,
it.
same, same.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, you're gonna kill yourself.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and I used to think the same. I used to think the same myself. And then I think it's when I was going through my divorce, I was like, fuck it,
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
don't
gonna
care
go
now.
and
I
do
don't
it.
care now. No one can tell me nothing. No
Yeah,
one can tell me
yeah, and just
mighty.
do what I want to do. And I went and did it, and yeah, never looked back.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to save. So yeah, man.
All
Bless,
right,
bless,
guys.
bless,
Well,
bless,
definitely,
bless.
if you are into your motorbikes, check out Shad's page. Like I said, we've tagged all of the links inside the description. Make sure you have those last takeaways. If you get an opportunity, guys, to feature on a TV show in any shape or form, I hope, if anything you take from this episode, is do it. You don't know where these things can lead. You don't know where these things can go. If anything, it's only going to give you experience, exposure. It's going to show you different things. And hopefully, if you can be in Chad's position and you could be looking at 150 inquiries in your inbox, that is guala for years. Imagine that. Anyway, guys, if you get the opportunity, definitely take it. Shad, thank you so much for joining me today.
Wait,
Oh,
wait,
oh,
wait.
oh, go.
I just remembered something,
Go on.
I just remembered something. When you just said what you said about opportunities to be on
Mhm.
TV, how can I not even mention that I was on Britain's Got Talent? I forgot to mention I was on Britain's
When
Got
was
Talent,
this
innit?
before the
I,
bride? When did this happen now?
no,
In the
it's
timeline.
this would have been slightly after.
Hmm.
Oh no, slightly before. Hold on, 2010, I think it was.
Okay.
So it would have been
After.
just before, actually.
Because you was
No,
on
it would have been before Don't Tell the Bride.
2016 was don't tell the bride, you said, isn't it? 2016. So
2012 was Don't Tell the Bride.
2012. Okay. So and what
Yeah,
year? So
2010.
2010, you was on Britain's Got Talent, and so you signed up for that
Th-
yourself, right?
Kind of. So eh, if Britain's Got Talent, you're probably gonna remember the episode. There was 7 lookalikes dressed as come out in monk robes, black monk
Hmm.
robes, and with masks on, and we record the chip and doubles,
Okay.
right? And we had 7 lookalikes, and we came out to some masks, some sort of not monkey monk type music,
Okay.
right? Yeah, some, and then every person revealed themselves. Mask came off, robe came out, and there was different lookalikes that coincided with the music.
Okay.
So you had Ricky Gervais came out to Disco Inferno. You had Gordon Ramsay came out to Flash Gordon. You had Mr. T, myself, James Bond. Who else was on there? I missed out. And then the finale was we had a Simon Cowell lookalike,
Okay.
and then Simon Cowell was face to face with Simon Cowell. So if you Google it, the Chip and Doubles.
Chip and doubles on
So when
Google.
you think Chip and Dales, if you just look at Chip and Doubles, and I think it was from then where Adam got the idea for the celebrity lookalikes because most of the Chip and Doubles were asked to appear for the audition
Hmm.
on that. And that Chip and Doubles thing went on for like 10, 15 years as
Oh
well.
wow.
And if you look at the video now, I think there's like 100 million views on YouTube. So again, that's another reason to go on TV when you got the
Yeah, if you get the
opportunity. And
opportunity,
I totally
go.
forgot about that because yeah.
And
So just a little side note.
before you go, Shad, just to mention the show. So the season and the episode of the Don't Tell the Bride. If someone wants to quickly YouTube it or check it out on BBC, what should they search for?
So I think it was season 6, episode 4.
Season 6,
I think it
episode
was.
4. Guys, check that out. Season 6,
Yeah.
episode 4. So once again, you can see exactly what we're talking about. Like you said, is right at the last couple of minutes you can get to see.
Totally forgot.
And then you can see how short it is and look at how much work came from a short appearance like that. But look at what can happen. And that's what we want to open your eyes to is possibilities. There's so much possibilities. But you got to take Action, guys. You got to do something. Sometimes you got to come out of your comfort zone. If you think it'd be a little bit nerve-wracking, there's what's that line where it says like, all the greatest things that you want in life and all the greatest things that you're thinking, oh, would be great, can happen. Those things only happen when you're in an uncomfortable position. If you're in a comfortable place and everything's easy, that greatness doesn't come from there. Sometimes you got to put yourself into that place. You're like, oh, I don't know about this. I'm not sure how it goes. When you feel like that, believe it or not, it's a good thing. You're like, oh God, I'm a bit nervous. I don't know. I'm scared. That feeling is the feeling you should feel where I have to do this. I have to. And when you go over that, the things that can happen, no one can predict, but you have to take the action. So make sure you take that action if you ever get the opportunity, man. Anyway, guys, it's been another banging episode of the Mobile DJ Mastery. I'll make sure we will catch up again next week for some more gems and different things and ideas and tips and tricks of how you can better things for yourself, because 2026 can be so much more better than 2025, but we got to do simple things like take the action and be consistent, man. Shad, thank you so much for your time, bro. I'm definitely sure we'll get you on.
That's it, man.
I'm going to be looking out for this documentary for Will. I'm going to be looking out for this Chip and Dale
Yeah,
thing on
man.
YouTube with 100 million views. I'm going to be looking out for this Don't Tell the Bride video. And I've put up some of those clips inside the video as well, so people can actually watch them while they are listening on this podcast. So thank you so much for your time, bro.
Appreciate it, my friend.
All right, guys, until next week, man. Take it easy. Make sure you go and smash those gigs, do those clients right. Make sure you get your content, but don't be disrespectful with your content. But post the work that you're doing so you make sure we get the best results out of your social media game. But other than that, guys, same place, same time, next week. Mobile DJ Mastery, and we are out. Man.